Hello and welcome to another exciting Dota 2 beta cast. I am your hostess, JerleMinara. Today we are going to be watching some professional players. This is an exclusive replay from ESWC. We are going to be looking at Virus Gaming, versus SGC. This should promise to be a very exciting game. This is round 4 of Group 1. I think this is game 1. So, wow, a lot of really quick bans here. Furion and Spectre for Virus. Anti-Mage and Night Stalker for SGC. Very, very standard bans. You know, it's exactly what you expect to see out of these games. Furion's ridiculously powerful. Anti-Mage, actually, we just saw totally destroyed entire team. Lots of farm. He goes crazy. Really the overall strategy that we're seeing out of pro gamers right now is to mostly ban hard carries. So Night Stalker game that wins, or Night Stalker hero that wins games, Anti-Mage wins games, Spectre wins games, though to a lesser degree, and Furion obviously is Furion. He's everywhere, he's farming, he's killing you. So very, very rapid picks coming out here, sort of rapid fire from both teams. Beastmaster is the first pick of the game for Virus. Over on SGC, they're going to grab Tidehunter and Windrunner. Very, very solid choices. Tidehunter with that Ravage, so crucial in team fights. Gush with that armor reduction, very, very powerful and potent. Good ganker, good supporter, can be a lot of power in tri-lanes. And, obviously that Ravage is, of course, going to be so absolutely ridiculously potent. So if you guys are, in fact, in the IRC, well, congratulations. If you're not in the IRC and you're watching this on the live stream, you should be in IRC. We are GG.DotaCast. I'm GhostOfGamers.net crew member JerleMinara, and this is ESWC. So, continuing on, we see Vengeful Spirit and Mirana being picked up for the Radiant. Very, very rapid-fire bans here. I wonder if my demo timescale is off, because, my god, they're just clipping right through this. I'm going to throw that cover back up, and nope, it's pretty much 1 for 1. So, Vengeful Spirit and Mirana, again, very, very solid picks. Vengeful Spirit, awesome support. Weaver, great carry, really one of the sole carries remaining at this point after the first stage of bans. As we go into the next ban stage, we're going to see Virus Gaming and the Radiant ban Lich. And Lich, of course, is a hero that just does so much. We've actually seen a lot of bans on Lich in favor of, on Lich in lieu of bans on AA. Lich is, a hero that's just got 4 really good abilities. AA, a hero that's got a lot of power, but obviously really where he shines is that ultimate. So Lich is a little bit better in the overall shaping of the Dota 2 meta right now. And so it's interesting to see that sort of develop independently of the Dota 1 meta. Lich sort of moving in to become a very, very common ban, but they are going to take out AA as well. And, SGC moving for a ban on Chen. So very standard bans here. Nothing, we're not really seeing either side look towards a very specific composition. One way or another, I think by denying SGC that ability to get their hands on that ancient apparition that'll control their ganking potential a little bit. And Virus actually with a pickup of Enigma. We haven't seen Enigma all that much in the Dota 2 games. I think it's a good pick. It's definitely a lot can happen there. They can get him into that jungle, and overall, neither team has used basically any bonus time. So both teams know exactly what they're doing, what they're going for. Very, very decisive play, and I think we're going to see a really, really exciting game here with Virus Gaming versus SGC. So Witch Doctor being picked up as that sort of support ganker aggressive build. We've seen a lot of Witch Doctor lately, and it'd be interesting to sit down and see what his frequency is and why exactly so many people are picking him over some of those other supports. I mean, Dazzle's still on the board. Dazzle, very strong hero. Obviously, for this particular composition, not the most effective, perhaps. But why Witch Doctor? What are teams seeing in this Witch Doctor? Obviously, Paralyzing Cast, hugely powerful with the right setup. Maledict doing a lot of sustained damage to an area, essentially, is landing that dot on many, many people with the potential for big kills. And, obviously, Voodoo Ward's doing a lot of stuff. So, are they going for Witch Doctor because he is a very hybrid, sort of exciting exciting, hybrid support slash ganker slash assister, or what is the thinking in their minds? Sadly, I do not know. I do not have my telepathy pants on me. In the meantime, though, we are going to hang out. It looks like Virus a little bit unsure now. Looking at the choices coming out of SGC, and I think SGC has a stronger team right now. I do like Virus's team for team fights, and I think
team pick.
Crystal Maiden is not what I would have expected there. I would have expected some form of carry, something with sustainability moving forward into the late game. We see a very, they've got some really good AE damage in the form of, Enigma, Beastmaster. Well, Beastmaster's ult isn't that much damage. But there's no real hard carry. Their only, damage source is going to be Mirana. And that can be very, very tricky moving forward. She's obviously not as strong as someone like Weaver. And I think we're going to see a very, very aggressive, early and mid-game centric style coming out of Virus Gaming, because they just don't have the presence to move into the late game. They've got a lot of support heroes, but not a lot of carry heroes. So I think right now SGC definitely has a stronger team, and it'll be interesting to see how things move forward. So I'm very confused by that Crystal Maiden pick. I'll come out and say it. I think it was a bad pick. I just do not see we'll see. Virus can be very, very aggressive in the early game if they can really get good team fights happening, and if we can see a hard carry. Oof. I love that Slardar pick. Looking at it right now, wow, I really like that Slardar pick. So this is SGC versus Virus Gaming. We are going to get into this game. Final score for Virus. Virus, of course, playing the Radiant. They are Mirana, Enigma, Beastmaster, Vengeful Spirit, Crystal Maiden. Over on SGC, we're going to see Slardar, Weaver, Tidehunter, Windrunner, and Witch Doctor. I want to talk about Slardar because basically Slardar is the hero I wanted them to pick, but I didn't realize it. Looking at what just happened is we're talking about how they have this early game team that's really nuke heavy, really squishy heavy, really support heavy, and you bring in Slardar with his ultimate, with that amplify damage, and it's able to get in there and reduce 8, 12, and 16 armor for 25 seconds, infinite cooldown basically. It's you can keep it going forever. Then you bring in Tidehunter with Gush, which does 2, 3, 4, 5 armor reduction. And then you bring in Slardar with a stun, Weaver with great physical DPS, another stun off Windrunner, Maledict on Witch Doctor. It all comes together in a really, really potent way. And I've got to say that just Slardar right there is a very cinching pick, because it will allow them to just cleave through these guys. The only hero that's going to have much in the way of strong base HP is going to be Beastmaster. We'll probably see Mirana has to go for damage items. And this is where, you can look at, just the genius of how things come together, is Mirana has to go for damage item because they have no damage unless she picks up everything she can to get that auto attack up, to get that damage up. And so because she's going to be focused so exclusively on those damage items, she's not going to be as strong, not going to be as survivable, not going to be as durable. And that's going to allow Slardar and Tidehunter with their armor reduction to just get in there and lead to really exciting things. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in the game. We're going to see a tri-lane from both teams. See Mirana, Vengeful Spirit, and Crystal Maiden up top, up against Weaver. Weaver actually going in and doing a little bit of damage. Smoke coming for Crystal Maiden and Vengeful Spirit. They may go for a gank mid. Down the bottom lane, we're actually going to see Enigma, it looks like, soloing that bottom lane rather than jungling, using his Eidolons to try and hang on here against that tri-lane. We're going to see Tolex with a very, very strong showing for Windrunner earlier in this game. Earlier in this... earlier in the tournament. Tidehunter and Witch Doctor providing some occasional tri-lane support, they are actually going to respond to that middle lane, basically be very active. And for the middle lane, we have Slardar lined up against Beastmaster, which should be a fairly even matchup. Neither is really all that far ahead. Beastmaster has the advantage with rune control simply because he has the ability to summon, you know, that Hawk and keep an eye on there. We have seen a couple runes going out, wards going out, very aggressive and defensive wards by that Dire team. They're going to cover that bottom pole. They're going to cover sort of the hook down here, aware of where that tri-lane is and trying to make sure that they they are not falling victim to it. So Vengeful Spirit coming down here, doing a little bit of support for Enigma. Enigma, a good choice for soloing this bottom lane. He is going to be able to keep the lane pulled backwards. Wow, actually, I have no idea how Mirana got back there, but she almost died, and I nearly missed first blood, but thankfully Mirana did not die. She is going to go ahead and die now, though, because she's showing herself, and they're just going to tango their way through, and Weaver's going to get that first blood. At least she gave me enough time to get up there and keep an eye on her as she died. So first blood to Weaver for 415 gold. Good pick up there, and I did not have a chance to see exactly what happened, but a little bit disappointing. Beastmaster actually coming in from the bottom, Crystal Maiden just covering that middle area while Beastmaster goes fishing for those runes. Right now, Enigma doing his farm in the bottom lane. Vengeful Spirit sort of moving around looking for an opportunity to fight. And Beastmaster getting in, getting a little bit aggressive, using his axes, just trying to get through those regeneration items that Slardar has his hands on, and just playing a very aggressive style that, you know, we know he is capable of. Down the bottom lane, Enigma's still going at it. If we look at creep kills, Beastmaster with 15 already. Very, very high farm right there. Very impressive so far. I do apologize for the glitching textures, guys. That's unfortunately not something I can really control. Wow. Vengeful Spirit taking quite a bit of damage here from that Windrunner. Will Windrunner be able to get a power shot off? I think VS can probably dip and dodge out of the way if necessary. But here comes Enigma with that, just the last bit of his mana, using that Malefics. It is going to stun him again. I think we're going to see Windrunner run down here. That Windrun does run out, and there's that last auto attack finishing him off. Kill for Enigma. It is now 1-1. Both teams playing a very aggressive style. Actually, Beastmaster taking a bit of damage here. Getting a bounce, big bouncing cast, big paralyzing cast on that Beastmaster. Stun coming out of Slardar. Slardar running back as fast as he can. Voodoo Restoration out of that Witch Doctor. Slardar getting away with just a fraction of his health. Very, very touch and go situation right there between the two enemies. And up in the top lane, Mirana continuing to play a very, very aggressive forward style against this Tidehunter. Gets him some auto attack harass and trying to push him back. Both Mirana and Weaver at about level 4, so staying pretty equal there. Over on Beastmaster, he is level 4, level 3 for Witch Doctor, and level 4 for Slardar. Slardar has had better rune control. He's gotten a couple of runes so far. We do see that they have an eye on that top rune, and unfortunately the Sentinel do not have coverage of any rune. Mirana taking a lot of damage, forced back with that Gush. She will be able to back up to her creep line, turn around, do a little bit of auto attack damage. Nothing too saucy, but both teams just sort of filling each other out, looking for opportunities to figure out exactly what's going on and why. Go ahead and kill that black box up at the top. Turn off my streaming list. So, right now, if we look at the gold earned, I do believe things are pretty even. Yeah, about 400 gold difference. Not a whole lot. Very, very. Not a big difference overall in terms of the gold income and so on. And up in the top lane, Mirana continuing to do her best to get that farm going. Sorry guys, getting lots of messages and so on. People bothering me and annoying me. Enigma in here doing his best to hold the lane. Vengeful Spirit waiting for an opportunity to get in here. Windrunner, Tolex we have seen in a couple of other matches here on Ghost of Gamers, doing a very good job of staying aware of the potential for trouble and trying to stay out of it. So, you know, both teams just basically in farm mode right now. Seeing a very passive game by both teams, just not a whole lot going on. You know, nobody's really looking to start anything. They're just being very, very cautious. We can see an abundance of caution from both teams. We were taking a good bit of damage. He is forced to use that healing salve. He does have a ring of regeneration, but it's not quite as potent as that healing salve, which gives him a whole lot of regeneration, 43 per second. And we see Slardar coming down here. It is night. They're going to go for a gank here. Big Enigma ultimate on that Tidehunter is going to see Tidehunter go down, as well as Enigma. Vengeful Spirit getting that final hit on Tidehunter, but you know what? Enigma actually goes down to a final hit from the creep, splitting that gold amongst 3 members of the Dire. Obviously, that is preferable for them to be able to split that gold rather than, you know, letting the enemy get the single focus. Up in the top lane, it looks like we've seen Weaver push back. Ranashi is going to go back and heal. Not a whole lot of options. Go over and take a look through items. We see a Soul Ring on Enigma, pretty standard. Vengeful Spirit with Wards. Curling Blade, a lot of money on Weaver. He's about 1,700, 1,800, so it will be interesting to see if he goes for that Naked Relic. I know a lot of players do love the Naked Relic. Not, you know, or opting not to actually get in there and purchase a good defensive items and just going straight for that Sacred Relic, going for that Radiance. And, you know, it's a strategy that can really pay off. It is very risky, though. Weaver is, by default, a very, very squishy, soft hero, and he can get in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, we will see what happens there. Both teams playing a very passive game. We do only have about 4 kills here at the beginning. Looks like we're going to see Vengeful Spirit coming up here. Beastmaster and Enigma in lane against Tidehunter and Windrunner. They do realize what's going on. They managed to back off, and we may see a push on this first tower right here. The Eidolons are going to duplicate. They should be able to take out this tower unless we see some teleports in, or at least do quite a bit of damage. Beastmaster running up, trying to push back the enemy team. A lot of damage being applied to that tower with his Eidolons. Enigma is such a great hero for pushing. You know, Wave of Terror allowing them that armor reduction, and you know, there goes that tower. They are going to see a fortification come out, and that may be enough to hold it off. No, the Eidolon should be able to finish it off here. Wow, deny on Winner, great shot by there, slipping it just between the attacks of those Eidolons, and in it goes. Deny for the team, and you know, that's a pretty potent thing. Instead of getting, you know, 1,000 gold, they're in a position where the enemy team got a whole lot less. Up in the top lane, we see Windrunner continuing to, or sorry, excuse me, Mirana continuing to farm against Weaver. If we look at the creep kills, we see Enigma at about 40, Beastmaster at 37, Weaver at about 32, and Windrunner about 31. So a small lead for Team Radiant so far for Virus Gaming. They are moving in, trying to put some pressure on this middle tower. Not finding an opportunity that they really like to go in. It is a situation where even though they do have these 2 stuns, they've got that slow, they've got, you know, Beastmaster ultimate. They have to be very careful how they move in and engage, especially under a tower. Slardar with that AE damage, with that bottled haste, he has a lot of problems. It looks like Slardar is actually maybe going to get, yeah, he gets an ultimate off on that Beastmaster. That is going to sort of prevent Beastmaster from moving in or getting too excited. Down the bottom, though, we may see Winner get caught here. Shackle Shot is not going to be enough. There's a stun. Will we see a, there's the Malefice. I don't think they're going to need to use that. No, they're not going to need that. Black Hole. Vengeful Spirit takes down Windrunner. That's another death from Windrunner. Tolek's having a lot more trouble in this game than in the previous games we've seen him in. And Beastmaster getting rushed here by that hasted Slardar. Tidehunter able to get that final kill, and I think we probably will see a little bit of pressure being applied here in that middle lane. Slardar has just finished his treads. He does have a bottle. Not a whole lot in the way of items. If we take a look at the stats, we see Enigma at about 350, Beastmaster at about 300. And that's actually it for people over 300 right now. So not a lot of farm being done by either team. Enigma doing a good job of getting those last hits. Obviously, with something like conversion, the amount of conversion, he is in a position to do a lot of farm, and he's also doing a lot of pushing. So, you know, very, very aggressive style by Virus Gaming here. Not a whole lot of responses that we can see from SGC. They're probably going to lose a tier 2 tower here at about 10 minutes. That double stun from Crystal Maiden and Vengeful Spirit is very, very potent. Mirana looking to get in and take out that Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor about 10 health. Mirana with the haste, but will not be able to chase him down and get through the barrier that is Slardar and Tidehunter. But you know what? She may be able to. Yes, they do get Tidehunter down. Suddenly that hasted Mirana is moving in here, firing off an arrow. We see Slardar recognizing exactly what's happening. He does dip, dodge, duck, and dive. I think those are the 5 Ds. And backs off, dodging the arrow very effectively. Good. You know, good ward placement by both teams. You see defensive wards here and here covering that bottom rune, as well as an aggressive ward over there and a ward here. So a lot of sight, a lot of vision for the Sentinel here. They are staying
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
for the Radiant here, excuse me. They are staying completely aware of exactly where the enemy team is at all times. And, you know, it's so important there. They have gotten that bottom tower. There's the ultimate, catching 3 members of the enemy team of SGC. Big ultimate out of Crystal Maiden, finishing off Windrunner, doing a lot of damage to Tidehunter and Weaver. Weaver does use a rewind and is able to pull back. We see teleports out from both Enigma and Vengeful Spirit. And, you know, Virus positioning themselves to take a strong lead and really move forward into the rest of this match with a victory. Over in the middle lane, we see Beastmaster continuing to farm. He's at about 1100 with Phase Boots. And, you know, again, this is exactly the style that Virus needs to be adopting to move forward here and to play those aggressive forward attacking games, to take out those towers, to get that gold lead. They are, in fact, up about 4,000 gold. That's 30% of the gold that has been earned. Big arrow landing on that Windrunner as she tries to teleport in, dropping that Starstorm for a little bit of extra damage, dipping out of the way of that power shot, and, you know, Windrunner actually teleporting in to end up at about 300 health. So very problematic situation for Windrunner there. Over in the bottom lane, we are going to see an Invisible Ace smoked in Crystal Maiden and Vengeful Spirit, looking for an opportunity to engage on this Slardar. We may see a Beastmaster run up and ultimate. No, he is not going to do so. Probably wisely deciding that they don't want to fight under that tower without knowledge. No, they do have complete knowledge of where the enemy team is, and that's one thing I really want to emphasize here. Virus Gaming doing such a great job getting those wards into places they need. We've got a ward here, a ward here, a ward here, and a ward here. So great warding by both teams, and Radiant able to know exactly what's going on, exactly where. If we look at the dire wards, we have them here, 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 covering that bottom rune, covering that high ground here, so they're not fighting up a hill without vision, and covering that top rune. So good vision there, but not quite the same powerhouse vision that allows sight into their jungle, that allows sight into their side lanes that the Radiant have currently. If we take a look at the creep kills, we are going to see a gank here on this Tidehunter. Tidehunter with not a whole lot of places to go except for forward. Beastmaster did not have enough mana to fire off his ultimate. Actually, excuse me, he did. It was just on cooldown. So that unfortunately did not result in a kill. And, you know, I'm liking... we were going for... It looks like his Naked Relic at this point. He does have his power charge down in the bottom lane. Enigma working towards his Blink Dagger. He does have enough. Will he be picking that up soon? I hope so. Obviously, Enigma is one of those heroes that if you can get that Blink Dagger on him... If you can get that Blink Dagger on him, he has such an ability to get in there, change the course of the game, make things happen for his team. He's a great initiator. He's a great team fighter. And I'm wondering what he's sitting on all this gold for, because obviously Blink Dagger runs only about 2.1k. Not all that hard to farm for. Both teams definitely doing their best to farm, but you can see that Virus is ahead right now, which we can expect. You know, they do have the better early game build. For those of you who have been wondering about the graphical glitches, wow, that arrow comes up just a little short of Windrunner. The glitches are a result of some bugs in Dota 2. Unfortunately, it's not something I can control. I will try and work on that. For now, you guys are just going to have to pretend you live in a world where everything flickers, and that's fine and dandy and exciting. So, hopefully they will get fixed sometime in the nearest future. I don't really know when they will, but yeah. Sorry, had to grab a drink. Right now, SGC obviously has the long game. We are seeing a small Virus lead fire off. Have taken out 2 towers to the 0 towers for Team SGC. And this is exactly what they need to be doing. The question is, can they maintain that forward aggressive stance before their time runs out? Because they really are on like a ticking window. And we see Enigma actually going for an Ogre Club and a Mithril Hammer right away, which is a little bit curious, opting to go for that BKB instead of a teleport scroll. We are going to see a smoke attempt gank here. Looks like Slardar, Tidehunter, and Witch Doctor coming in here. Enigma just teleporting out in time, getting away from there. I think he saw them coming in through here with that ward before it died. And, you know, that's what SGC needs to be doing, is looking for these ganks in the beginning game. I think that Mirana is still having trouble with the farming. We look at her gold per minute. She is almost at 300. Enigma at about 363. Beastmaster at 300. But really no farming from the Dire. Like we're not seeing Weaver like leap away with the farming. So things are still a little bit questionable, a little bit touchy for SGC. I'm really not going to say that I can conclude anyone's going to win at this point. I think that the stronger late game team is definitely SGC. But we're seeing Virus do exactly what they need to do with this composition, which is just push, and get in there. They're doing the 5 push right now at 16 minutes. They've got 3 towers down. They've currently lost their first tower. We may see them drop the second tower. We're seeing a couple teleports back, Tidehunter and Witch Doctor coming in, as well as that Weaver. But I don't know if they're even going to be able to protect this tower. There is that black hole. They've got to be very, very careful how they engage this fight. Both teams do. And, we're going to see these Eidolons coming out, doing a lot of damage to that tower. It does have more health. It is a tier 2 tower. It's at about 1,600 instead of 1,300. And we will see Virus fall back instead of pushing in and finishing off that tower. But they already got it down to half health. So, this is very important to think about. Is we're seeing a very, very strong aggression from this Radiant team. And that's exactly what they need to be doing. They need to be pushing in here and farming and pushing, because if they allow it to turn into a farming game, they're just going to lose. They don't have the competition to win a farming game. They may be able to win a pushing game. And if they can use that tower gold to, keep themselves ahead, if they can also try not to get caught like that Beastmaster did, getting absolutely blasted. Great gank there, 4-man gank coming out of SGC there. I think they may be able to get this tower. Yeah, no question about it. That tower is going to go down pretty much faster than that. And suddenly things looking a little bit more questionable for the Dire, for the Radiant. They need to be making sure they're not doing that sort of thing. That's basically just the situation. They cannot allow SGC to get in a position to be counter pushing. They need to make sure they stay quite ahead in the tower count. They are ahead. They've got 3 down to 2 down, but that's not as far ahead as you'd like them to be. And wow, we may just see them go for an early Roshan on SGC. When you have Tidehunter, when you have Slaughter, that is something you can afford to do. I'm sure surprised we're not seeing that ultimate from Slaughter. I guess it was on cooldown. There we go. It is now off cooldown. I'm surprised to see them scattering out and away and not killing off Roshan. There was no indication there that they were seeing Sentinel. Radiant does not have vision of the area, but something obviously made them worry about it. There comes a bird actually recognizing that they were trying to Roshan, so good timing, good sixth sense. And up in the top, we may see a gank coming in here on Weaver. Weaver, of course, does have the ability to retreat as long as he's not stunned. There's the dust. He is in so much trouble. It hurts. Yeah, down he goes. There was no way to escape there. We had the dust coming in. We do have a BKB available on that Enigma. Enigma doing great farm right now. And Virus making sure to get the items, make sure they're staying on that forward aggressive stance, just like they need to be if they want to have a chance at winning this game. It looks like SGC has decided they do want to go for that Roshan. They should be able to take him down pretty soon here. Big arrow catching that Witch Doctor. Things may turn back around. Ultimate in on the Slaughter. There's the mechanism firing. Slaughter down at very little health. Roshan actually regenerating quite a bit. A lot of damage going around. We see a big black hole catching 3 members of SGC that are all low in health. Oh my gosh, this could be crucial here. Both Slaughter and Witch Doctor going down. Winner being able to escape just a little bit. They actually could get in there and finish off Roshan. Will they be able to? Weaver's hanging around, wanting to try and protect Roshan, knowing they're going to rush in. There's the dust. There's this stun. There's the other stun. There goes Weaver. Suddenly things looking very, very bad for SGC because I just don't see... Wow, here comes Slaughter. Never mind. There's a shackle shot on both Enigma and Mirana. They will be able to receipt. Lots of damage coming out, and suddenly the table's turning again. Beastmaster having to retreat, trying to throw his axe, trying to do a little bit of damage. Roshan still at only about 1k. Big plays coming out of both teams. It's looking very, very tricky. A couple key buybacks there really were clutch in shifting the tides back and forth. And I think we should see Roshan go down. They do have that armor reduction. Big arrow in there on Slaughter. Mirana looking to try and continue denying this, but I think Roshan is going to maybe go down. Oh my gosh, he's at 500 health. He just keeps regenerating. Tidehunter getting up here. They are going to finish him off, and they're also going to get Mirana for their trouble. I think that Virus just made a big mistake there by continuing that fight, by not retreating after they lost that initial skirmish. And, they fired off a buyback, and they just did not capitalize. They ended up losing Mirana. They ended up losing Roshan. They should have just accepted, hey, we're not going to get this Aegis, and leave it be there. But SGC able to take advantage of their mistake. They do pick up a Aegis for Slardar. He is in a good position right now. He's going to continue farming. He's currently level 11. He does have about 73 creep kills, so doing a very good job. Currently leading, just behind Weaver with about 75 to 97. And a big push coming on this top tower. So SGC sort of trading blows back and forth. We do see the gold earned tilting back in the favor of Dire a little bit. They are still behind, but that can be attributed to a whole tower. The Roshan does help, but it's not going to close the gap, unfortunately. And Virus Gaming continuing to stay in the lead, but their lead is diminishing. They should get this middle tower without too much trouble. You see a Fortify coming out of SGC, and unfortunately that is going to be enough to force back Virus Gaming. Meanwhile, Mirana farming up at the top. She has Travel, she has Hand of Midas. Very unusual picks for this Mirana here. Down goes that middle tower. Then we see a medal. Yes, final hit going to the Maiden. A little bit questionable there. I would have liked to see it go to that Beastmaster, and I think Beastmaster may be going for Staff. He's got a Staff of Wizardry. He's got some gold on him. A couple different directions he can go with his build from there. Doing an item check right now. It looks like we're going to see BKB first for Slardar. Lincoln's for that Weaver. He does have that Perseverance. He is about 1k short of getting that Ultimate Orb. Windrunner with a couple directions. She can go with that Staff. Arcane Boots for Witch Doctor. Nothing too exciting all around. Looks like Enigma will be going for that Mechanism next. He has a Headdress. He's got a BKB. He's got a Soul Ring. So he's very well positioned to provide that support to his team. And things are sort of resetting, settling down. You know, we are only at about 16 kills at 22 minutes in. Both teams playing very, very casual with some big bursts of action. It's not a constant stream of ganks and counter ganks. It is just a very, very calm, focus-directed fight, and it looks like we will see the Dire moving into a position here to push that top lane. All 5 members of the Dire team are in this top lane. They're going to be able to move forward. Unfortunately, I am going to have to pause for one brief moment, guys. Thank you for your patience. We'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Take care of something. We are back. Thank you for your patience. Looks like we will see a defense from Virus Gaming covering that top tower. It is at about half health. And we do see 4 of them rallying up to the top point. They will be able to push back the Radiant without too much trouble. SGC does decide wisely to retreat. They're not going to try and force the issue with 4 members of the Virus Gaming there. Excuse me. Recognizing that there are, they are at a disadvantage at this point in the game. When they get some more levels, when they get some more farm, they will be able to indulge those team fights. But for now, it's not in their interest to get into those fights that early on. Beastmaster with the Necronomicon level 1. He does have an urn as well as a bottle. We should see that getting leveled up fairly soon. Weaver continuing to work towards that Lincoln Sphere. And another big push coming out of the out of Virus Gaming. They're doing exactly what they need to do, continuing to stay aggressive, continuing to stay forward, continuing to keep SGC on the back foot and sort of out of control of the game. Looks like we will see a good defense here from SGC. They are going to be able to deny the tower and force back Virus Gaming. Virus Gaming can't be happy with that deny. It does leave them in a position where, you know, they're not getting that gold that they need to be able to stay competitive, because that's exactly what they've got to do, or that's how they're going to be able to stay competitive. And, you know, without that income from that tower, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to continue moving towards the mid game and into the late game. We are pretty solidly in the mid game. It's been a fairly quiet game, aside from a couple of Roshan skirmishes, that sort of thing. And right now we're just seeing SGC look to play. They're very much on the defensive. They know if they can hold on, if they can continue allowing Weaver to get that farm, if they can just wait, they're in a very, very strong position to win the game. But overall, this is a very slow-paced game. Looks like we're going to see a smoke gank attempt by Virus. They may miss that arrow on Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor probably going to be able to escape here. Dark Swarm from Weaver serving as a disincentive for them to continue pursuing. They still have a couple members of their team smoked. Will they be able to get in there and cause some mischief? I'm not sure. There's no one here. The Dire team is just going to move to the top lane, and things are going to continue farming and just going along very, very slowly. Over in the middle tower, we're going to see some pressure coming from the Radiant team. Virus actually realizing that SGC is not in position to defend their tower, able to do 600, 700, 800 damage worth to that tower, which is important. As someone in IRC just noted, very strange build from Mirana. Mirana with Travels, Midas, and about 3.4k. Maybe going for Butterfly now? I don't know, that's questionable. Mechanism, BKB, Enigma, Soul Ring, Power Treads, Necronomicon, level 1, maybe not getting level 2. BKB for Slardar, Aegis as well. Weaver finishing off a Vanguard outright, and still waiting to finish off that. Lincoln's. Tidehunter with approximately nothing. Windrunner with more nothing. Probably going to be working towards a Force Staff eventually. Just have a mech and an Arcane Boots, and yeah, guys, I'm like struggling to find things to talk about. Rana has picked up a Yasha, so that will give them. She will be able to lead that towards a Manta style. We are going to see a little bit of engagement here. Enigma eating that Gush, maybe in a bad position. Wow, big black hole there, catching both Slardar and Weaver. There's the ultimate out of Crystal Maiden, interrupted by that Tidehunter. I think Crystal Maiden might have wanted to wait. There's the dust. We see Tidehunter go down. Two members of the Radiant dying, Slardar and Tidehunter. Slardar coming back with the help of that Aegis. Two more Weaver going down as well. Both Ventral Spirit and Crystal Maiden going down. And I think that suddenly things are going to look really, really bad. They're not focus firing. They're trying to do some damage to Witch Doctor, some to Slardar. A little bit of a mistake there. There comes the Cursed Ground, dealing some DPS to Slardar. Are they going to be able to finish him off? I can't help but feel that Mirana should have been targeting the same thing as her team. Slardar is going to get away here probably with just a little bit of health left. Oh no, the urn might tick down and kill him. No, it will not. He's forced to use his BKB to stay alive. They are going to get a tower in the middle here. And that was a very, very sloppy engagement there from the Radiant team. Virus Gaming a little bit disappointing with their show there. We saw Mirana auto-attacking Witch Doctor while the rest of the team went after Slardar, and yeah, just very sort of sloppy play there that can probably be attributed just to, you know, becoming familiar with Dota 2. I know most of these teams are not yet practicing full-time on Dota 2, so they may not be fully familiar with the game, and you know, it's a little bit hard to stay focused. But things did not go the way Virus would have liked them to go there. They should have gotten a kill on that Slaughter. They did at least manage to use up the Aegis, which is a nice thing. Beastmaster is going to pick up that level 2 Necronomicon here. Should be getting that level 3 sometime in the near future. Crystal Maiden actually way out of position here, going to go down so fast. Will there be? Yeah, there's the follow-up auto attack by Weaver. Crystal Maiden going down. Rana leaping away, leaving those illusions behind. And Virus Gaming maybe starting to sort of fray a little bit at the edges, making some major mistakes, making some choices and decisions that they shouldn't be making. We do see that looks like Winter has finished her force staff over there. Up in the top lane, we're going to see a counter push and see that top tower finally go down for the Dire. Looks like we're going to see a couple teleports in. Enigma, Beastmaster coming in, tanking that Dark Storm with those Necronomicon minions. Necronomicon's very, very useful. Sadly, their abilities do not have icons yet. And now Virus is moving up to counter push. Right now they do have the lead. They have both. They have all 3 tier 1. They have all 6 tier 1 and tier 2 towers. There, and there. This is roughly where the towers are, guys. Don't worry about the specifics. So Virus doing a good job with that pushing strategy. They need to get a barracks though, because they're, definitely behind in farm. Never mind, they're not. They're 10k ahead on farm. They're ahead in levels. They're doing a really good job, actually. I did not realize that things were quite that strong. So SGC a little bit ahead on kills, but sort of deceptively ahead on farm. They do have one hero that's just, straight up a lot more. They have 161, 157, 138 versus 117, 157, and 88. So big creep kill difference right there. We are going to see them continue to play this very defensive game, stick in this backward stance, and Rana has picked up her mana style. Rana's starting to get some farm there. I'd like to see SGC farming better. Oh, sorry, guys. Beastmaster finishing off his Necronomicon. That will be level 3 for him. Down the bottom lane, Slardar is forced to use an invisibility rune to dodge and avoid that Mirana. Slardar actually quite a bit behind that Mirana. Mirana is level 17 currently. She's gotten a good bit of farm. Roshan is back up. Will we see a skirmish here? I think we're going to see a fight over here, over that Roshan area. Both teams obviously do want to get their hands on that Aegis, and that will be very, very crucial. There's a sentry ward, making sure to keep an eye out for Weaver, moving their Hawk into position to keep an eye out on Roshan. And here comes the smoke. Here comes the possible fight. I think they saw the smoke. No, they didn't. They didn't see the smoke, but they do see Enigma. Wow, absolutely massacred there. A lot of damage. That Tidehunter is so close to death. Wow, Slaughter doing huge damage with that stun. We see Tidehunter going down. We see Slaughter retreating for the woods. SGC is going to be able to maybe catch this. Yeah, Mirana's going to go down to that Maledict. Oh my gosh, she survives with 19 health. Enigma suddenly out of position, running from both Weaver and Witch Doctor. Things looking pretty good for... Somehow only 3 people died in that fight. I'm not sure how that happened. Very confused by that. Very confused by that. So yeah, that's like a total reset. Not a whole lot happening there. Fortunately, this is a very slow-paced game right now, guys. I do wish I could speed it up a little. But overall, we are just waiting for, one of the teams to really decide to commit and leap in there and get bad things happening to the enemy team. I'm very surprised that we only saw 3 kills out of that fight right there. That was a full 5-on-5 clash. And I think both teams are having a little bit of trouble with focusing their fire. Gonna see Slaughter dancing around, taking a lot of damage. Slaughter swinging back in, trying to do a stun there. Huge mistake. Mirana just ripping in here. Tidehunter getting swapped back. Mirana with a dominating double kill. And suddenly I'm thinking that this may just be Virus's game. They're going to be able to push so fast into this bottom lane. It also got that mid lane pushed. They're in a... Wow, they managed to get 2 buybacks out of that just to try and defend this tower. And I don't think they're going to even be able to defend the tower. They'll be able to hold it off for a little while, but that tower is drastically low on health, and Virus having forced 2 buybacks, they're able to just retreat into the forest. They may go for Roshan here. Probably not, since there's going to be people on their butts, but they are in a very, very powerful position. There's the Blink Dagger for Enigma. There's the Eagle Song for Mirana. Mirana really getting good farm here, really getting good help, getting good items. And I think Virus is probably going to win this game just based on the fact that they have a very, very good push team. They've got really a strongly coordinated team fight. They've been able to win basically all the team fights they've gotten into. They are ahead only by about 2 kills, but it looks like you're going to see SGC take out some of these wards, try and secure the Roshan area, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to actually kill him. And we do see them retreating back into the forest, running away as fast as they can.
Regeneration.
And a big blink forward by Enigma. Goes proper Malefice, and Slaughter's going to go down here. Slaughter's just getting caught and absolutely destroyed. That Midnight Pulse does quite a bit of damage, especially when you get stunned in it. And this could be sort of the Siren Song. This could be the end of things for SGC. Stun forward, swap, and Weaver. Wow, big ultimate, big black hole. Catching that Weaver there, catching that Enigma. Catching that Tidehunter. Beastmaster taking out Tidehunter. Mirana getting Weaver. Mirana is at mega kill. We see a buyback from Weaver, and things are looking very, very dire for SGC. So much damage coming out of this Radiant team. They are going to get that top tower down. They do have this bottom tower very, very low. Will they be able to get the barracks? I think the answer is yes. They do have about 20 seconds to do so before Tide and Slaughter are back. Big paralyzing cast there, bouncing between the enemy teams. Will they be able to focus down that tower barracks? The answer is absolutely, unequivocally yes. Crystal Main getting the last hit, and they're going to get the range barracks as well. They should be able to slip down to this bottom lane, take out this tower, and that's effectively GG. Things are... It's going to be very, very hard for Virus to come back. I think they are behind on experience. Yes, they have. There's a level 19 Mirana, a level 17 Enigma up against a level 17 Weaver, level 15 Slaughter. Big level disadvantage, big gold disadvantage. If we look at the numbers here, they're down by 12,000 gold, 13,000 gold. Virus having such a commanding lead, and you know what I want to commend Virus on is the fact that they were able to take their early game team and win hard enough in the early game to just continue their momentum forward into the mid and late game. We are 37 minutes in here. We are seeing them just continue their dominance of SGC and continuing to push in here really, really hard. A little bit of counter warding going on. Virus just looking to get in there and possibly get the Roshan. They have cleared out the wards. They are going to go in here using that Hawk to keep an eye out on things. Will they be able to take Roshan down? I think they're going to be able to get him down before the enemy team even has a chance to respond. No, they are not. Let's see, Mirana ult and an engagement. Moving forward, that's going to be big. Slaughter is going to go down, and with Slaughter go the hopes of SGC. Weaver should go down. There's the swap. There's the rewind. Where's the stun? There's not the stun. The stun is on cooldown. It doesn't matter. Weaver goes down. Vengeful Spirit finishing it off. Auto attack. Back runs the rest of the team, and suddenly they are on the back foot. We're going to see a Malefice on this Tidehunter, maybe? Maybe. Yes, it is. There's the Malefice on the Tidehunter. Will they be able to stun him for long enough? I think we're going to see Beastmaster rush forward using his axes. Can they catch that Tidehunter? I think the answer is yes. Tidehunter is going to go down. He uses his ultimate. If it is not enough, Enigma takes out Tidehunter with that Malefice and an auto attack. They should get this tower shortly thereafter, and with 2 barracks down, that's going to be pretty much nigh impossible for Virus to get back from, unfortunately. It's one of those things where when you're this far behind, it's just not an option. They do have 4 members of their team dead. They're down by about 9 kills, and I think this is going to be Virus pushing in. Mirana teleporting top, pushing that top lane while his teammates move in to take down this tower. That will probably do it. I think we're going to see Mega Creeps for the rating here very, very soon. SGC a little bit disappointing in the fact that they just were not able to avoid the fights that they needed to avoid. A couple of really, really good plays from Virus. I want to commend them on that just excellent gank strategy. You know, Enigma was able to get some really big black holes, catching 3 members of the Dire pretty regularly, and you know, Mirana getting enough farm to do ridiculous amounts of work. That, yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. So Windrunner is going to retreat to the fountain here. It doesn't matter, that tower is down. We will see both of these barracks go down soon. I would expect to see GG's any second. Garter really wants to get those kills, and he is going to get Windrunner. He does manage to stun her. He get Tidehunter as well. Windrunner buying back, it really will not make a difference. There's the last set of barracks. There's the Mega Creeps. There's the GG. That will be a win for Virus. SGC, unfortunately, unable to keep up with the very aggressive, you know, Virus team. And we talked about this at the beginning, that they were not the strongest late game team, but they were able to make themselves a strong late game team just by taking control of the tempo of the ganking and so on. So very well played by Virus. Unfortunately for SGC, but I believe they're still in the tournament after this loss. They should be able to come back hopefully. So we will see what happens. That'll do it for this game. Let's go ahead and see the wrap up and go on out to some commercials. $572 gold per minute for Mirana. Good play there. Good farming. Good experience. Very well done by their team. I am going to throw a couple commercials at you guys. When we get back, I'll do an outro, and that'll be it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, and we are back. That is going to do it for me for now. I am JerleMinara. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the casting today. I've been a little bit off my game. It's been not enough sleep, unfortunately. You guys should check me out on YouTube. I am at JerleMinara. You can find me at twitter.com/JerleMinara. So please be sure to follow. I will be tweeting about when I am casting more fun stuff like that. Also hoping to get some keys to give out sometime in the near future. Please also like me on Facebook, fb.me/JerleMinara. And you can find my VODs on YouTube, youtube.com/JerleMinara. Pretty easy. In the meantime, that'll do it for me. I am going to go get some more sleep. Hope you guys had fun, and we will be back later on in about 10-ish hours with more ESWC coverage here at Ghost of Gamers. Bye-bye.